Hey there, Flunky Force, it's Game Flunky. It's been a while. I haven't done a bullshit podcast in a long time. Kind of fell off with this because so much shit was going on at work and stuff like that, and I kind of was trying to figure out how I was going to do things with the channel. I'm debating on whether or not to do Switch and stuff. Twitch. Oh my god, Twitch. Anyway, but for further regards to that, we'll get into that later on down the road, whatever. So, let's talk about some cool shit today. How about that? Destiny 2 coming out. Oh my god. Can you believe they're bringing Destiny 2 out? I'm not surprised, really. I want to pre-order it, don't get me wrong. Like, I know I'm talking shit right now, but I wanted to get it. If you're wondering what my thoughts are on it, you're probably not the 5 people that listen to this. Anyway, but if you're wondering what my thoughts are on it, I honestly... It's up in the air, because, as you know, if you have been keeping up, as you know, that Destiny 2 is a pretty much complete new game, but it still was in the same universe of Destiny. But you don't get to transfer your characters and stuff over, and a lot of players were up in arms about that, saying, well, I put 500 hours into the game, where's all my shit going to go? Why are we doing this? Or what is the purpose of all this? There are supposedly, from what I've been hearing, rumors that there be some kind of reward for players for the time they put in. Experience bonuses, special armors, weapons, things of that nature. To kind of give the players that put in the time, the time and the effort in, they get the just reward they deserve. Now, granted, a lot of players aren't going to be too satisfied with that. I mean, 500 hours is still 500 hours. And I totally understand the argument. Both sides have a point. The way Bungie and Activision have been putting it is to bring Destiny to the next level, Destiny 2 to the next level, and to assure everything's okay, and to rework everything, and to flesh out all the problems, and then kind of come to terms with some issues they didn't fix through the old game, or pre-Destiny itself. They've kind of got to create this whole new game with this whole new platform and rework. Because from what I've been gathering is, if you read the articles, that there's going to be more content as far as the planet's going to be more lively. You're going to have more of an expanded universe, such as you're not just walking from desolate place to desolate place. You're actually going to start seeing some civilizations, different dynamics. You're going to be experiencing different ways to explore the different parts of the universe and the planets they're in. So it kind of, if that's the kind of overhaul we're going to expect and hopefully get, then I could kind of understand the whole concept of creating a whole new game, because you kind of have to come up with a stepping off point to sort of push the game in a different direction. I'm not saying that I like it, and I'm saying it's fair to players who have put all the money and time and effort in, but if they're going to kind of become the game they're supposed to become since Destiny was released, then sort of that is what they need to do. Everybody knows if you've been keeping up with me, y'all know that I didn't like how they handled the whole detachment from the old consoles. By saying, Taken King, I think it was the Taken King? No, the other one after Taken King was Rise of Iron. That being detached from the consoles, the old gen consoles, is kind of like a fuck off to them, because now it's like, alright, you guys put all this money and time and effort in, you can't transfer your characters up that I know of, so you're kind of stuck in this world that you've been busting your ass in, and you can't come out of it, because you don't have an next gen console, and that to me was unfair. So that's why I'm like, ugh. But the cool thing is, though, with this game, it's supposed to be on PC. Or it is on PC. You can pre-order it now for PC. And so I thought that was pretty neat. It is really... It's a weird concept. It's a weird concept because to go in that direction, to take a step in that direction, it was a bold move in my point, but it was an obvious financial move, because essentially... And you're talking about Activision here, who coined the phrase make money. They know how to make the money. They know how to bring the players in to keep them enthralled. Same with Bungie, but Activision has been more adept to doing it. So there's no denial in my head. There's no denying that they're not going to make money. They are. They're going to make tons of money. I think with PC, though, with them branching out to PC, is sort of their way of saying, here we are, we're bringing our A game. We're putting everything on the front line. No more holding back. At least that's what I'm seeing. At least that's what I'm reading into it. I might be reading too much into it. But I think, essentially, this is what players are going to want. And that's sort of why they went PC, because now it opens up a whole other market for them to kind of utilize, a reservoir, money, if you will, but also allow them to tap into a sort of broader spectrum of players. And this also comes back to them branching out, because you got to remember now, Destiny was made for 2 generations of consoles, older and newer, right? The old and the current. Now, with this being said, now you have the current generation, which is Xbox One, PS4, and Scorpio, and Pro, and all that. and PC. So now the game's been made for the current gen and possibly for future generations. So that again is a testament, because they're adding PC to the list. It's a testament that they are serious about upgrading the style of the game, the dynamics of it, the world, the civilization, the ecosystems. So it shows with the implementation of PC into the next branch of where the players can go, shows how serious they are. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, why does it matter? Why does the concept of adding PC players to the mix have any regard on how they're going to publish the game? Well, simply putting it, is they're adding more bang for their buck, so they're going to have to probably expand the universe. Because before, or expand the reservoir, because essentially before you had old gen console players, new gen console players, or current gen playing the same game. Now you kind of cut out that part of your reservoir or your money income. Well, it makes sense to go for PC next. Now, of course, PC has a meta to itself. It has a style. It has a way of turning things the way it needs to be. So they've got to kind of bring their best foot forward. And current gen consoles are pretty much fucking computers, supercomputers now. I mean, with the Scorpio coming out, with the specs on that thing's a monster. So this allows, and hopefully the PS4 can catch up, but this allows that company, Bungie and Activision, to make that game that not only is compatible for PC, but be an excellent port for PC, while being a stable and well-rounded game for PC and for consoles as well. So yeah, that's my one big thing, is why PC is such an important milestone for them, because it just shows the amount of effort they're willing to put into the game. So there's that. But beyond that, though, I mean, we'll wait. Time will only tell. Time will only tell. I mean, between that and the new Modern Warfare 2, or no, not the new, what's it called? The new Call of Duty World War II game, I think, coming out. Hold on. I'll take it. Apparently, rumor has it, Phase Jeff talking about this on the channel. Apparently, there's going to be a trailer for the new Call of Duty. Oh, God, what's it called? I can't remember the name for it. Here we go. New Call of Duty. Here we go. I'm going to look it up real quick on Google. World War II. Here we go. So apparently, I don't know how accurate this is, but Call of Duty fans can look forward to new Modern Warfare. Right, here we go. Fans look forward to a new World War II game this November. It has another alleged.
Did you notice that there's so many prices out there for the exact same?
My bad.
Fine.
Anyway, so reveals that the release date of Activision's heads back to what the world? Sorry, the World War II game this November. As another alleged leak similarly reveals that the release date as Activision heads back to boots on the ground action. So there's rumors, and apparently there's a subreddit talking about this, how they're going to be going back boots to ground, whatever you want to call it, which is great, because a lot of players did not take well to Infinite Warfare. It did well. I mean, it sold well, but players wanted that boots on the ground sort of feel. And Battlefield 1, because of, like, look at the how well received sorry, I'm trying to do my words right, how well received Battlefield 1 was. How well received Battlefield 1 was, that they kind of got the idea that, alright, players want these boots on the ground. So, I mean, a lot of people don't remember saying this, but there was like a tweet out there and everybody got mad about Infinite Warfare, and everybody was calling out because it was the Infinite Warfare, the one with Jon Snow and the guy from Game of Thrones. The tweet came out was that there's the guy, I forget who did it, but for Activision or one of the companies that was making the game, he said, we make these games to appeal to a certain dynamic or group of people, and they thought that large majority of players would want the futuristic, hop around, sort of, I'm trying to think, where you just kind of like you're jetpacking everywhere. They didn't want that, or they thought they wanted it. So they put out that tweet. Oh my God. They put out that tweet saying that that's what players want, but obviously they didn't. And it kind of makes it so that it kind of gives that kind of a feel that, all right, you know what, maybe we need to change it up and go back to basics, in which what they did with World War II. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the trailer. I'll probably do a react on it because I kind of want to see what they're going to do. let me know what you guys think. Are you guys looking forward to it? Do you think it'll be a good idea? It's boots on the ground is what everybody wants, so we'll figure it out as we go along. So hopefully it'll be a good game, and hopefully people will like what they hear, see, especially with the trailer if it comes out, if the rumor on Reddit was correct. Like I said before, it's up in the air. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. I'm more of a Battlefield fan, but if this does go back to basics and goes back to that World War II kind of style, then that's what people wanted. It's why they got so upset with the trailer of the last 2 Call of Duty games. So it's, it is what it is. I mean, there could be a lot of key features I think they're going to try to take out. Like I said, I don't understand most of Call of Duty anymore, but there are some things they can't implement because it's going to be a World War II game. Besides, like, jetpacks and stuff like that and exosuits. It's gonna be something else that they're gonna have to take out, like a bunch of things or do a bunch of reworks. The newer generation of players may not like it as much because it's dark and gritty. It's World War II, so it's gonna probably be very the atmosphere of it could be very dark and not very colorful. So it's not gonna look like Black Ops 3. You know what I'm saying? You're in warfare, so it could backfire. I don't see it backfiring, no way, shape, or form, but that sort of feel to it, that dark, gritty feel, players might not like. If that's the case, then it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching this bullshit, or listening, or watching if you're on YouTube, this bullshit podcast by Game Flunky. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Game Flunky, sign.